can't stand to see you cry. Honey, you know where the world is at. Get what you want with your lucky eye. You turn me on.
Boy, does this bring back memories. Looking at this picture of my daughter Haley and her best friend Brittany, Sharon, who's Brittany's mom, with my wife Jody, and of course that's Brittany. And she used to say I was like the father she never had. Her husband Simon and her mom Sharon asked me to do the eulogy at her funeral. It was on the eve of her favorite holiday, Christmas, ironically. There really are no words to express the ache of losing a talented, beautiful, loving 32-year-old who was such an extraordinary person to her family, her friends, her colleagues, and such a shining star to the millions who love the art she created in movies, television, and through her music. So what we can do today is celebrate her life, share a few memories, remember her great heart, and recall some of the details of her extraordinary, but all too short life. Since she died, one of the things that struck me is how underappreciated the great body of work was that she created over nearly 2 decades of work in television and in movies. And I want to share with you some of the movies that I hope that you might take a look at, kind of a retrospective of Brittany's career that really, I think, I've picked out the films that I think she's most outstanding in. Clueless in 1995 marked her breakout when she not only became a movie star, but really a recognizable name in the industry and to the world.
I have said it before, and I will say, Brittany had the timing of Lucille Ball. She could do those funny, pratfally, goofy things where, you know, she was a crazy, ditzy girl, and it came off very natural, and it's hard to do that.
Right after Clueless came out, she did a number of independent films that were all the really good scripts that everybody else wanted. And after those independent films came out and made little splashes here and there, I think that's when the studios really started to take notice.
One of Brittany's most outstanding roles was in a movie that she wasn't even the star of. She had a supporting role in, and that was called Girl Interrupted. It was a critically acclaimed movie. She gives a touching, powerful, even searing performance.
What's this? Huh? What's this?
Let go.
Trying out your new silver?
Get the fuck off me.
I'm going to sleep now.
She made a really conscious effort to get in shape. She felt that blondes had more fun, so against everybody's wishes, you know, the little Italian girl from New Jersey became a blonde, and she looked beautiful as a blonde as well. And that was going into the transition.
The greatest work Brittany ever did was in 2001 in a movie called Don't Say a Word, directed by Gary Fleeter. Now, Gary had actually met Brittany before that when he was going to direct a biography of Janis Joplin.
The casting director of the Janis Joplin movie, Deborah Aquila, is one of my really good friends. And Brittany at the time was 21 or 22, and Janis Joplin died at 28 years old looking 40. So of course they didn't really want to bring her in, and they didn't think that she was right. And so at my wedding, I asked Brittany if she would sing, because if she sang, then Deborah Aquila would hear her sing, and maybe the singing would overcome her youngness and her youthfulness. So Brittany, at my wedding reception, sang and brought down the house, where every cynical, jaded Hollywood person that was there really was standing on their feet wanting more and more, and didn't even want the real band to play anymore. And Deborah Aquila just came over to me and said, I think I found my Janis Joplin.
Another word for nothing left to lose, nothing. That's all the Bible left me. I said feeling good was easy, love. My Bobby sang the blues.
It was going to be a big budget movie. Everybody was very excited about it. But because of the music rights issue, the movie never got made. But Gary had gotten to know her and what a great actress she was and what a fine person she was, and that led to her casting in Don't Say a Word with Michael Douglas.
What, who was?
It's like you can see her thoughts as she's thinking them.
That is something that really is kind of, you've got it or you don't have it. But the fact is that she could trust it.
Unfortunately, it came out on 9/11 weekend. So lots of people were busy watching television and not going to the movies.
But it speaks to the kind of bad luck she had in her career, because both the Janis Joplin project never went because of a rights issue, not because of Brittany.
Right.
And then Don't Say a Word, in which she, I thought, should have been Oscar nominated. I think she was brilliant in that picture.
It's really true. That was an amazing performance.
But that bad luck kind of haunted her, I guess. The other movie that year was directed by Penny Marshall. It was called Riding in Cars with Boys.
She screen tested actually to play Drew Barrymore's role, and the studio wanted Drew Barrymore, so Brittany ended up playing Drew Barrymore's best friend.
Mom, Pop. Yeah? I don't know how to tell you this. What? I'm pregnant. My daughter's a tramp. My daughter's a tramp. My daughter.
She played great character roles, but she was always somebody's best friend, you know, the funny girl, and she did want to play, she wanted to become a star, and she wanted to be a leading lady, and she wanted to eventually get to kiss the guy.
In 2002, Brittany played the young girl, street tough, smart, and yet still very feminine, very human, who penetrates through this M&M's, this kind of emotional armor that he would wear. She was the one who was able to break through and touch him and touch his heart.
I hear you're a real dope rapper.
Who told you I was a dope rapper?
You know, it's around. You're so dope. What you doing working over at Dead End Stampin'?
Your brother works there.
Yeah, my brother's a loser.
She brings you into her world, Brittany. You know, she always was able to make you forget about your problems, so to speak.
Brittany was really one of the most giving and caring people that I knew. During 9/11, she wrote letters and signed tons of pictures for a lot of the relief workers that were down at the site. She went on a USO tour at a really busy time in her career, but she just wanted to give back to those people who were becoming her fans in that way.
And I think in 2003, she really had a breakthrough in terms of comedy and romance.
Oh, honey. Oh my God, tomorrow my parents are gonna know I'm not a virgin anymore. Sarah.
This really showed that she had comedic chops and is really a high point in her comedic abilities. And to be both romantic and still be funny.
Oh, bloody nose, bloody nose.
I remember at Sharon Murphy at a 50th birthday party, Ashton was her boyfriend, and you can see Ashton really at that point was very connected with her, and that love that we've seen on the screen in Just Married really carried over into the relationship, and it was really very touching to see at the time. What other films? Is there any other films you would mention?
There was Uptown Girls, which I thought she was adorable in, where she played a nanny to a little girl.
At your age, not your shoe size.
I just think it's like a very kind of bright, cheery, sort of happy kind of movie, you know? I think she was really, good in that.
She and Dakota Fanning kind of enjoyed each other.
Yeah, they both are such great actors.
Yeah.
That, they went toe to toe with each other.
She was really incredible in Sin City. She played, kind of like a throwback to a 1940s kind of movie star.
And everybody auditioned for that movie. That was the one movie that every girl in town wanted those roles. And she came in and just knocked it out of the park. And Robert raved about her always. In the company that she was in that movie, she went right along with them. I mean, she could walk the walk.
You brought your whole pack with you?
How's your jaw?
I've been slapped around worse.
In our retrospective, we also want to take a look at Brittany as a voiceover artist.
King of the Hill, she started playing Luann and the brother. And then when the brother got older and his voice had to change, obviously she couldn't do it anymore.
Interestingly, right after she died, the Time magazine critic, Richard Corliss, talking about how underappreciated her work really was. He specifically cited her as Luann and how much he appreciated and loved her work, what a memorable character she was.
My name is Luann. I think God has a plan for me, and it involves puppets.
And then in Happy Feet, of course, she had the voice role, but also got to sing quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
And says, baby, it don't work. You say your prayers.
And that kind of led her musically even into other stuff. I know she worked with Paul Oakenfold.
Early on in her career, she really didn't know if she wanted to be an actress or if she wanted to be a singer. And, you know, really everybody guiding her, I think she really got to do both.
Although Brittany wasn't doing a lot of studio movies in the last couple of years of her life, that doesn't mean she didn't do some very good work. And in our retrospective, I hope you'll also include Tribute, which was a movie that originally aired on cable television. You know, people talked about her being fragile and anorexic and this and that, but this was a very physical role.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean...
Talk to me about some of the physical things she had to do here.
She had, well, first of all, and she did it with vigor, she had to sling a sledgehammer. This is not an easy thing to do. To do dialogue all day long slinging a sledgehammer is a challenge for any actress, but she liked that sledgehammer.
Excuse me. This is private property. Jan Hardy's family might not appreciate you going all demolition derby on it.
We don't mind.
And the dirty little secret was, in order to appear taller, she wore inside of her shoes 4-inch lifts. So she's not only slinging a sledgehammer or running around in the yard, but she's on tiptoes. She truly loved acting, loved it, loved being on camera, but not for the vanity thing. She liked the work. She loved anything about the work, any challenge. I mean, we had that little dream sequence in there that was a dance number. And I was going to have dancers, but that got nixed because of the budget. Then I was going to have extras, that got nixed because of the budget. Then I wanted mannequins, and even the mannequins got nixed because of the budget. And then I had, luckily, 2 actresses, both Brittany and the other actress, who had been dancers. And between the 3 of us, we invented the scene in about 5 minutes.
Who is the father? Who is the father?
What I saw was a woman who was looking forward to all these adult parts that she'd get to play, that she could grow and try different things and expand as an actress. And I was really excited for her. I felt, you know, she acknowledged she'd had some sort of bad industry kind of, you go up and down in this business. It's the way it goes. And if you hang out, you come back. And that's what she was really looking for, and she loved working.
From the time she was at least a 9-year-old girl, she told an interviewer when she was 9 that someday she would be on Broadway. Mm-hmm. She would be a major movie star. She would have a singing career, but she would come back and she would do Broadway also.
Arthur Miller was auditioning for View from the Bridge with Michael Mayer directing, and the role was pretty perfect for her, although she's never really done theater anymore. So without any coaching, without any voice coaching or anything, she went in, she auditioned 3 times, and they gave her the role.
And I was there opening night. She was extraordinary.
She was amazing.
Katie, you gonna marry him?
I don't know. We've just been going around, that's all.
She was very, very, very skillful. And it was a passion for her whole life. That's what she wanted, and she got to do it. And very few people really get to do what they love.
We all know Brittany is no longer with us. Now we just have our memories and our thoughts of her love and kindness, and a celluloid and video record of her talent that will live for the ages. If she was here, she would smile and give us her famous laugh and a hug and tell us it's all going to be all right. So now she's our angel in heaven looking down to tell us it's all going to be all right. We miss you, Brittany, but you are our angel, and you are with us now and forever.